Hi there, everybody. Welcome to the podcast, Love Letters to Pam, or you may be watching on the YouTube channel, Traveling with Jack and Pam. I need to also apologize for the audio. You're going to be hearing a lot of noise in the background because basically I'm sitting on a bench in downtown Somerset, Kentucky. For those of you watching, this is what downtown looks like. And I'm sitting here out in front of what's known as the Virginia Theater. It's an old theater that's been restored, and they still show some movies here and have performances and things. And it's an absolutely beautiful little area here in downtown Somerset, which, if you're wondering, is near Lake Cumberland, which is just a fabulous lake that you can visit. In fact, they tell me it has more miles of shoreline than the Gulf of Mexico. Now, I find that hard to believe, but that's what the locals will tell you. I had dinner tonight at a place called I think it's called the Charred Oak Grill, and it was a nice evening there. We've talked about going out alone can be a challenge, but it seems like when I'm traveling for work, it's not quite as much of a challenge. I don't know how to explain it, but when I'm traveling for work, it just comes a little more natural, I guess, if you will. And there'll be other business people scattered in restaurants as well when I'm doing this. Now, tonight, though, this is a smaller community, and the restaurant was primarily filled with couples and families and things like that, but I didn't really give it second thought. And I sat down and had a really nice table and a wonderful server, and I had a nice meal as well. And then as I got up from the meal and I walked outside, I don't know, I kind of looked up to the sky and I said, oh God, this is certainly not how I had things planned for this stage in life. And of course, we all go through that, don't we? Those who've experienced loss, whether it be that of a child, or maybe it was your parents, or whatever the loss can be, we think about it. We know that loss is inevitable, but then when it happens, it just kind of changes everything, doesn't it? I mean, it's amazing the different changes that take place in our lives. And tonight was one thing that's happened before, but like I said, I walked outside and I looked up and I said, God, I wish she was here, because I had a wedge salad with some wings, and they were really good. They were cooked in a sriracha bourbon sauce, and I've been here before, and I always get that. And I thought about how those wings were seasoned just like Pam would have liked them. Not too hot, not too mild, just the right amount of sauce. And as I looked up to the heavens and said, gee, Pam, I wish you were here to enjoy those wings, I almost made myself cry. A couple of tears started to come out, and I went, no, we're not going to do that. I mean, I've said before, crying is good. It's got healing tears. There's healing properties in those tears, but this was a night I thought, no, I just don't feel like having a good cry tonight. I just want to get through the evening. And so I continued to walk around town a little bit, and then I came here and I found this nice bench. I feel like some old man now. I'm just sitting here on the bench watching the traffic go by, and you guys and girls that are watching, you can no doubt hear the traffic. And now we can hear some church bells off in the distance. If we look down that way, that's the First Methodist Church located here in downtown Somerset, and indeed the bells are now beginning to chime. But I don't really have a big message here with this particular program. I just wanted to share with you kind of my experience, and know that that I get it if you have these experiences as well. It's just all part of the journey. It's all part of the process. And I'm going to say it again, whether it's been 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years, 30 years, you're always going to feel that loss. You do learn how to cope better. You learn how to keep putting one foot in front of the other. And we continue to make it best we can. But on a night like tonight, boy, I sure do wish Pam was here to enjoy those wings. She would have loved it. And then she would love coming out here and walking around the downtown, and maybe even hanging out on the bench here with me and just kind of watching the traffic go by. It kind of takes me back to when I was a kid, and we would visit my grandmother in Union City, Tennessee, and she lived on South 3rd Street. She had a swinging, why can't I think of what it is, on the front porch? A swing, yeah, that swung back and forth. And we would sit on that swing with her for an hour or two in the evening and just watch the traffic go by and say hi to folks walking by. yeah, kind of a simpler time, and there still are simple times. We just sometimes have to wake up and smell the coffee, as they say, and realize we can still enjoy simple times, kind of like what I'm doing tonight. This is actually very, very pleasant. Just sitting here on a bench in downtown Somerset, Kentucky, watching the traffic go by and getting ready for the sun to go down. And yeah, it's been a little hot and humid today, but it's actually pretty pleasant right now here. So that's about it. I guess what I'm saying is, make the best of what you have. That's all we can do. And by the way, here comes some noise. I'll show it to you. It's a Harley. Not sure what the deal is with the Harleys, but people love them and they like to make a lot of noise. So that's our program. Thanks for watching. Keep subscribing. Check out the podcast too, Love Letters to Pam. Until we do see you that next time, you know what we always say. Make it a great day. Better yet, a better tomorrow. And bye now from beautiful downtown Somerset, Kentucky.